It's been about 6 years since Frank Ocean last dropped an album, and he still remains one of the most relevant names in all of music. And despite his absence, his popularity is still growing. In recent years, some of his songs have been popping on TikTok, but more importantly, he's the host of one of the best GTA stations.
This is Blonded.
And you know, I'm one of the newer fans, so in order to understand Frank Ocean to its fullest potential, I took a look at the projects that got him the most recognition. In 2011, Frank Ocean would release Nostalgia Ultra. As you can probably guess by the name, a lot of the tracks on this album bounce off the idea of nostalgia. Frank Ocean achieves this in multiple ways, as it can be seen sonically through the use of video games and their interludes. And I'm not gonna lie, this is a brilliant touch because I feel like video games can be underrated in terms of how much nostalgia they can produce. And that's kind of how the interludes work on this album. Another way that it can be seen, you can just look at the lyrics. Obviously, not every song is about being nostalgic or reminiscing about something, but this opening song, Strawberry Swing, is a great example of just this moment where you look back to being a child and you're sitting down, just thinking about life type shit. And if you put yourself in those shoes, you can kind of imagine the nostalgia that you'll feel. An interesting thing about this album though is that for people who listened to it when it came out, it probably starts to feel nostalgic right now, which is just crazy to think about, you know what I mean? Amongst songs that stand out this album, I would have to add Nature Feels. The song Swim Good is one of Frank Ocean's most critically well-received songs, so it's probably a good idea to check it out. And of course, if I'm mentioning songs of this album, I probably want to mention the biggest song on it, which is Novocaine. Overall, if you ask me, the reason why the album is as well received as it is today is because of the relatability on it. Everybody can relate to at least one aspect of this album, whether it be what's implied through the interludes with the video games, or maybe it's that you have the same music taste as Frank Ocean and you enjoy watching him cover these songs. Maybe you can relate to picking up a hobby just to impress somebody.
My whole vinyl collection, and you can teach me how to slow dance or something.
Because of all the things that I mentioned, Nostalgia Ultra would be received very well, and it would put a lot of people onto who Frank Ocean was. This is including Jay-Z and Kanye West, who would put Frank Ocean on their album Watch the Throne. Although most people probably recognize his feature on No Church in the Wild, I personally prefer his feature on Made in America.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
I think it shows more of who Frank Ocean is, and the vocals that he hits on this track is crazy. But anyways, going back to Frank Ocean's projects, Channel Orange would be next up. And this would be his first official album, considering Nostalgia Ultra is a mixtape. And this would focus more on the sounds that Frank Ocean himself would create. Although Frank Ocean singing over popular beats and instrumentals is pretty cool, it's not very profitable and legally dangerous. And if Frank's previous works didn't show this enough, Channel Orange would full-on showcase his ability to tell a story. Almost every song on this album focuses on a different story, and I feel like these stories compiled to be a TV station's scheduled programming, or not necessarily one TV station, because it does feel like throughout the album you're channel surfing, or at least that's how I would describe the Fertilizer interlude. It's kind of like if you were just channel surfing and you were like, yeah, I'll watch this ad. Then when the ad is over, you just switch the channel again. But like I said, I think these songs on the album are all in here to make a point about a relationship. Maybe Frank is talking about one specific relationship or just relationships in general. The song Lost takes a look at a relationship that goes on for too long. The song Thinking About You kind of resembles the start of a relationship. More specifically right before, where both people are kind of like, do we like each other? No, we don't. But like, we do though. But more importantly, what this song gives us is this iconic vine.
A potato flew around my room. before you came, excuse.
You know, I knew about this Vine before I knew about the song. That's sad, low-key, I ain't gonna lie. But I should note that I don't think every single song on this album is about relationships. At least not in the traditional sense, as a song like Crack Rock is about addiction, while also making commentary of how messed up the police system is.
Crack rock, crack rock.
Which, if you really wanted to stretch it, I could see you making it about an aspect of a relationship, but I am not gonna do that, not gonna lie. However, if you keep listening to this album, you'll find the track Pyramids.
She's working at the pyramid.
The story of a stripper that works at a club named the Pyramids, and show the divide that is created through working at such place. Which is to me how Frank Ocean makes commentary on relationships that fall apart over time. The song Lost, which is the next song on the album after Pyramids, also covers a similar theme.
Now you're lost.
Because that song takes a look at a drug dealer and his girlfriend and how they hold on to a relationship for the thrill of it.
Lost.
When they both know that it's probably past its expiration date. I go more in depth into the song in this video, just if you want to check it out. But continuing with Channel Orange, I feel like one of the standouts in terms of what Frank Ocean is trying to say about relationships is Bad Religion. In the track, Frank Ocean asked a taxi driver for advice, and the taxi driver would offer Frank Ocean a bit of spiritual advice.
But boy, you need prayer.
With this story, Frank talks about love that isn't reciprocated. In many ways, it can be easy to fall in the shoes of Frank Ocean. You find a person that you think is really cool and you really like them and you really wish they felt the same way and you hope that they'll feel the same way eventually. But at some point you realize that it's not fair and you shouldn't want to be in that position. And if you put enough time and energy and effort into it and you're still getting no results, then it's no different than a bad religion. And if you are in this position, maybe you do need some prayer to break free. But if this is truly an overarching story, by the end of Forrest Gump, it seems like he's over it. Finally recognizing that he's above just this person that keeps running away from them.
This is love, I know it's true.
It's not even that the person doesn't like him. It's just that they're running away, like they're scared or something. And overall, that's why the album shines, the story that it tells, but also how uniquely poppy the whole thing is. Like almost every song on this album is a song that you want to sing and dance along to, but it sounds very unique to Frank Ocean. At least in my opinion, maybe I'm ignorant. And yeah, that would wrap up Channel Orange. But of course, his next album was the long anticipated Endless. Obviously not really technically. Endless was an album that he put out to get off of his contract and be able to get more of the revenue from Blonde. But I don't like that people just minimize this album as, oh yeah, that's the filler album that Frank Ocean made so he could get off his contract. With visuals to go alongside the album, this album is pretty good. The album really showcases Frank's chilled out vibes. Like, it's really not lo-fi per se, but it might as well be, you know? Like, I do understand that if you go around and ask someone, yo, why do you like Frank Ocean? No one's gonna mention Endless, but it's cool. Like, it's the type of album that you don't really need to pay attention to. You just can let it run in the background and all of a sudden it's over. But it's all good. I'll get to Blonde, I guess, because that's the one that everybody cares about. Basically, everything that I mentioned applied to this album. Like, the experimentation really takes it to another level. And it starts from track 1 with Nikes. And I'm gonna be honest, I can't listen to this song and imagine a world where Frank Ocean has a normal voice. What's crazy about this song is that it's been 6 years since it came out and Mello still doesn't have a ring. This is crazy. And the crazy thing is that there is a lot of songs that I want to highlight from this album. So this is crazy. I'm just gonna highlight some of my favorites. Ivy and Pink and White do a great job at capturing the nostalgic feel. Pink and White does it more through its sound.
It's the same way you showed me.
While Ivy does it more through its lyrics.
We'll never be those kids again.
Pink and White is such a relaxing sounding song though. I love it. It legit sounds like a Bob Ross painting. The lyrics for Solo are crazy, but I love the song.
Might lose his jacket. and hit a solo.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the fuck the song is about, because he's talking about matadors and shit, but like, song goes fire.
Fire in hell, in hell.
Again, it's another song where you can just turn off your brain, listen to it, and oh shoot, 3 minutes pass by, 30 minutes pass by. Moving on though, Self-Control is a crazy relatable song that starts off really great with the acoustic,
Wish we'd grown up on the same.
and it transforms into something crazy, something beautiful, something that I wish I could find in other songs. You know, when Frank gets to the I don't wanna leave, da 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 da. Bro, that shit be hitting my soul type shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Night.
There's no one who hates the song Nights. I'm not gonna lie.
And I know it better than most people.
And rightfully so, because the trajectory of the song is through its sound is just crazy. It reminds me of how classical songs are able to convey emotions so vividly. More specifically, something like The Four Seasons by Vivaldi. I don't know if I'm saying that name right, but the way that you can feel the seasons change, kind of the same vibe I get here with Nights. Because when that switch happens, it's just, your body feels amazing. Then the verse after the switch, which is basically just Frank Ocean reminiscing, it reminds me of my night.
Bishops in the city building mansions. Oh, the Reverend.
Great track overall. It shows the relatability I was talking about earlier. Then we get to Solo with Andre 3000, where Andre 3000 puts out basically the verse of the decade.
Solo that I can give a fuck about what is trending.
Low-key one of the best verses of all time. I'm realizing almost every track on this album can get a dedicated video to itself. Why Ferrari makes me want to buy a Ferrari, knowing damn well a Ferrari is a scam. Don't buy a Ferrari, by the way.
White Ferrari. Had a good time.
When the Minecraft sample kicks in, it just really adds to the nostalgic feel that this song tries to go for.
I'm sure we're taller.
It's great, and this is why Frank Ocean is great. This video has taken me like 2 hours to record just because I'm trying to decide which songs to talk about. And I'm leaving out some good stuff, by the way. But what makes him stand out is this sense of nostalgia that you get listening to him, which is thanks to how great of a storyteller he is, focusing on the little aspects of stories. Like, a lot of the time in music, we say a great storyteller is someone who keeps narrating a story. But I feel like Frank Ocean, what he does is that he puts himself in the story and he notes very like specific things that no one else is gonna have. Way more effective than just being a narrator, you know what I mean? And as a result of this way of telling a story, it is very easy to relate to what he's saying. It may not be a one-to-one comparison, but it's just so easy to put yourself in his shoes or relate what he's going through to something that you went through. And to be honest, this is the type of thing that you don't get with a lot of artists. All of these factor to what makes Frank Ocean a great artist. We don't know when Frank Ocean is gonna drop again. The last thing I heard from him was a song that he released for the GTA radio station. And it didn't seem to be a finished track, but it still sounded pretty good. Regardless though, I'm just happy that I got to experience Frank Ocean. However, I'm gonna let Jay Dilla roll on the outro. So shout out to Frank Ocean and shout out to Jay Dilla, man.